crystal spear shook in Zara's hands as she looked around the burning village. Smoke filled the air. Dead bodies lay everywhere. Her people were gone. All of them. "You are the last one," said the enemy commander. His red eyes glowed in the darkness. Behind him stood 20 soldiers. Each one carried weapons that hummed with deadly power. "Give up now. We will make your death quick." Zara raised her crystal spear. The blue stone at its tip flickered like a dying star. "My people fought for 1,000 years to protect this world. I will not be the one to let them down." The commander laughed. It was a cold, empty sound. "Your people are dead. Your magic crystals are broken. What can one warrior do against 20? "Let's find out," Zara said. The first soldier attacked. Zara spun her spear and struck him down. The crystal flashed bright blue. 2 more came at her from the sides. She jumped high, using her spear to knock both to the ground, but more kept coming. Zara fought like she had never fought before. Her spear moved like lightning. The crystal sang as it cut through the air. She had trained her whole life for this moment. Every move was perfect. Every strike found its target. One by one, the soldiers fell. But there were always more. A blast of energy hit her shoulder. Zara stumbled but kept fighting. Another blast burned her leg. She gritted her teeth and spun her spear in a wide circle, forcing the enemies back. "Impressive," the commander said. "But you are bleeding. You are tired. How long can you last?" Zara knew he was right. Blood ran down her arm. Her breathing was heavy. The crystal in her spear was getting dimmer. Soon it would die completely, but she would not give up. Never. 3 soldiers rushed at her together. Zara met them head-on. Her spear moved so fast it was just a blur of blue light. She struck the first one in the chest, kicked the second one away, brought her spear around to block the third one's attack. That's when it happened. Crack. The crystal spear broke in half. The blue stone fell to the ground and went dark. The magic was gone. Zara stared at the broken pieces in her hands. This spear had been passed down through her family for 10 generations. It had never failed before. The remaining soldiers formed a circle around her. 15 of them, all pointing their weapons at her heart. "Now you see the truth," the commander said. "Your magic is weak. Your weapons are old. This is why your people lost. This is why they all died." Zara dropped the broken spear. She was tired. So very tired. Her village was ash. Her family was gone. Her weapon was destroyed. What was left to fight for? She looked up at the dark sky. Stars twinkled between the clouds of smoke. Somewhere up there, other worlds were fighting the same battle. Some would win. Some would lose. "This is how I die," she whispered to the stars. The soldiers raised their weapons. Energy hummed as they prepared to fire. "Any last words?" the commander asked. Zara closed her eyes. "I fought well." "Yes," he said. "You did. Fire." The soldiers pulled their triggers, but before the energy blasts could reach her, something fell from the sky. It came down fast, trailing fire and smoke. A metal object the size of a small house. It crashed into the ground between Zara and the soldiers with a sound like thunder. The impact threw everyone backward. Dust and dirt filled the air. Sparks flew from the crashed object. Steam hissed from cracks in its metal sides. Zara picked herself up from the ground. What was this thing? She had never seen anything like it. It was not from her world. The soldiers were getting up too. They pointed their weapons at the strange object. "What is that?" one of them asked. "Some kind of escape pod," the commander said. "From a ship." "What kind of ship?" "I don't know. But whatever's inside is probably dead from the crash." The metal object made clicking sounds. Lights flashed along its sides. Then with a loud hiss, a door opened. Steam poured out. Through the white clouds, a dark shape moved. Everyone watched. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. A figure stepped out of the pod. It was tall, but not as tall as the soldiers. It looked different from any race Zara had ever seen. Its skin was pale. Its hair was dark. It wore strange clothes that were torn and burned. The figure looked around at the burning village. At the dead bodies. At the soldiers with their weapons. At Zara with her broken spear. Then it smiled. "Well," the figure said in a voice that was calm and friendly. "This looks interesting." It took a step forward. The soldiers tensed. "Mind if I join the fight?" the figure asked. Zara stared. In all her years as a warrior, she had heard stories of many strange races. But she had never heard of anything like this creature. What was it? Where did it come from? And why wasn't it afraid? The strange creature stepped out of the smoking pod. Steam rose around it like morning mist. It was smaller than the soldiers, shorter than Zara. Its skin looked soft, not covered in armor or scales. "Mind if I join the fight?" it asked again. The enemy commander stared at this new arrival. "What are you? What race?" "I'm human," the creature said. It brushed dust off its torn clothes. "Name's Marcus. I was having a quiet trip through space when your friends shot down my ship." Marcus looked around at the burning village. His face grew sad. "Looks like you've been busy here too." Human. Zara had never heard that word before. "I don't know your people." "Most don't," Marcus said. "We're new to this part of space." He smiled at her. "You fought well. I watched the whole thing from up there." The commander laughed. "Another weakling to kill. This day keeps getting better." He pointed at Marcus. "You have no weapons, no armor. You look like you can barely stand." Marcus nodded. "You're right. I'm pretty beat up from the crash." He walked over to his broken pod. "Lost most of my gear too." The soldiers relaxed. This human looked harmless. Marcus reached into the wreckage and pulled out a simple metal bar. It was about as long as a sword but thicker. One end was bent from the crash. "This old thing still works though," he said, holding up the bar. The soldiers burst out laughing. "That's your weapon?" one of them asked. "A piece of scrap metal?" "Pretty much," Marcus said. He swung it a few times, testing its weight. "Not fancy, but it gets the job done." Zara couldn't believe what she was seeing. This human was acting like everything was normal. Like he wasn't about to die. "You're crazy," she told him. "There are 15 of them. They have energy weapons. You have a metal stick." 16, actually, Marcus said, pointing at the commander. "You missed one." He grinned at her. "And it's not just a stick. It's a really good stick." The commander had heard enough. "Kill them both, now." 5 soldiers charged forward, their weapons glowing bright red. Marcus sighed. "Here we go." What happened next Zara would remember for the rest of her life. Marcus moved like lightning. Not fast like her people moved, different, like he knew exactly where each attack would come from before it happened. The first soldier swung his weapon at Marcus's head. Marcus ducked under it and brought his metal bar up hard. The soldier went flying backward. The second soldier tried to grab Marcus from behind. Marcus spun around and hit him in the stomach. The soldier doubled over and fell. The third and fourth soldiers attacked together. Marcus stepped between them. He hit one with his left hand, one with the bar in his right hand. Both went down. The fifth soldier had time to fire his weapon. A red energy blast shot toward Marcus. Marcus smiled and hit the energy blast with his metal bar. The blast bounced off and hit the soldier who fired it. Zara's mouth fell open. "How did you do that?" "Practice," Marcus said. He wasn't even breathing hard. The other soldiers backed away. Fear showed in their eyes now. "Impossible," the commander said. "No one can deflect plasma fire with bare metal." "Humans can," Marcus said. "We've been fighting energy weapons for 50 years. You learn tricks." He looked at his bent metal bar. "Though this thing's getting pretty beat up." "There are still 10 of us left," the commander said. "You got lucky with those 5. "Maybe," Marcus agreed. "But now I'm warmed up." He started walking toward the remaining soldiers. Each step was calm and steady, like he was taking a walk in the park. "Zara," he called over his shoulder. "You know this area better than me. Any suggestions for dealing with 10 heavily armed bad guys?" Zara stared at him. "Are you serious? We need to run, hide, get help. Or," Marcus asked, "or what? Or we could make them run and hide." The soldiers raised their weapons. 10 energy blasts fired at once. Marcus moved faster than before. He rolled, jumped, and spun. His metal bar flashed in the firelight. Every energy blast either missed him or bounced away. When the light faded, Marcus was standing in the middle of the soldiers. 3 more were on the ground. 7 left, he said cheerfully. That's when they heard it. A low rumbling sound from the distance, getting louder. "Reinforcements," the commander said with a nasty smile. 100 more soldiers. They were coming anyway, but your little show made me call them early. Zara felt her heart sink. Even if this human was amazing, he couldn't fight 100 soldiers. Marcus listened to the rumbling sound. It was getting closer fast. 100, huh? He looked at his dented metal bar. This might be a problem. He turned to Zara. "Got any ideas for getting out of here?" The ground began to shake. In the distance, lights appeared. Lots of lights. The army was almost here. Zara looked at Marcus. This strange human had just done impossible things, but even he had limits. We could try to reach the old caves, she said, but they'll surround us before we get there. Marcus nodded. Then he smiled again. That same calm, confident smile. Caves sound good, he said. But first, let's give them something to think about. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device. It was black and smooth with blinking lights. What is that? Zara asked. Human technology, Marcus said. Want to see something really interesting? The ground shook harder. The rumbling sound grew louder. Through the smoke and fire, Zara could see lights moving toward them. Hundreds of lights. The enemy army was almost here. We need to run now, Zara shouted over the noise. Marcus looked at his small black device. The lights on it blinked faster. Or we could make them run. Are you insane? Zara grabbed his arm. That's 100 soldiers. With vehicles. With heavy weapons. Marcus studied her face. Even covered in dirt and blood, he could see she was brave. She had fought 20 soldiers alone. She didn't give up even when her spear broke. You're right, he said. Running makes sense. Zara felt relief. Finally, this crazy human was being smart. But, Marcus continued, humans don't usually do what makes sense. The relief died in Zara's chest. Tell me about your people, Marcus said quickly. The magic crystals. How do they work? What? Why does that matter now? Trust me. It matters. The army lights were getting closer. Maybe 5 minutes away. Zara spoke fast. The crystals store energy from our planet's core. We shape that energy with our minds. Make it into weapons, shields, tools. Incredible, Marcus said. His eyes lit up. My people use technology, machines, computers, but we've never seen anything like magic. Your people can deflect energy blasts with metal bars, Zara pointed out. Marcus laughed. That's just training and good timing. What you do is real power. He looked at the broken pieces of her spear. Can it be fixed? Not without a new crystal. And the only crystals are in the deep mines, which are now controlled by them. She pointed at the approaching army. What if, Marcus said slowly, we didn't need a new crystal? That's impossible. The crystal is the source of all power. Marcus held up his device. What if we used a different kind of power? Human power? The first enemy vehicles came into view. Armored trucks with mounted weapons, hover bikes with soldiers riding them, and behind them, marching in perfect lines, came the foot soldiers. Explain quickly, Zara said. This device, Marcus showed her the black object, is a power amplifier. It takes any energy source and makes it stronger, much stronger. So maybe it can amplify your magic. Even without a crystal, Zara stared at him. That's impossible. Magic doesn't work that way. How do you know? Has anyone ever tried mixing human technology with alien magic? The enemy commander who survived Marcus's earlier attack was shouting orders. Surround them! Don't let them escape! Soldiers spread out in a wide circle. Soon Zara and Marcus would be trapped. We're out of time, Marcus said. Do you trust me? Zara looked at this strange human. He had appeared from nowhere, fought impossible odds with a metal bar, stayed calm when anyone else would panic. I don't even know what you are, she said. I'm someone who doesn't give up, Marcus replied. Just like you. The army was closing in, 200 meters away. Now 100. Fine, Zara said. What do I do? Marcus picked up the broken pieces of her spear. The crystal was cracked and dark. The wooden handle was split in half. Hold this, he said, putting the pieces in her hands. It's broken. Dead. Maybe. Or maybe it just needs a different kind of energy. He pressed his device against the cracked crystal. Think about your magic. Feel it like you always do. There's nothing to feel. The crystal is... Forget the crystal, Marcus said firmly. Your people used crystals because that's what they had. But the real power comes from you, from your mind, your spirit. The soldiers were 50 meters away. Weapons charging up. I don't understand, Zara said. You fought 20 soldiers alone. Your spear broke, but you kept fighting. That power didn't come from a rock. It came from inside you. Marcus activated his device. It hummed with energy. Now, he said, remember why you fight. Remember what you're protecting. And push all of that into the spear. Zara closed her eyes. She thought about her village, her family, her people who died defending their world. All the love and anger and determination she felt. She pushed all of it into the broken spear. The device in Marcus's hand grew hot. The crystal began to glow, not blue like before, but white. Pure white. The wooden handle knitted itself back together. The cracks in the crystal sealed. The spear became whole again, but it was different now, stronger. The white light was brighter than any crystal Zara had ever seen. Impossible, she whispered. That's what humans are good at, Marcus said. Making impossible things happen. The enemy soldiers stopped advancing. They stared at the glowing spear in shock. What is that? One of them asked. Some kind of new weapon, another said. The commander raised his hand. It doesn't matter what it is.
Fire! Kill them both!
200 weapons aimed at Zara and Marcus. Ready? Marcus asked, pulling out his bent metal bar. Zara lifted her transformed spear. It felt alive in her hands, full of power she had never imagined. Let's show them what happens, she said. When humans and aliens worked together, the army fired. 200 energy blasts lit up the night sky. Marcus and Zara charged forward together. The real fight was about to begin. 200 energy blasts lit up the night like deadly fireworks. Marcus and Zara ran straight into them. Zara's transformed spear cut through the air. The white light from the crystal turned the energy blasts into harmless sparks. Marcus spun his metal bar like a shield, deflecting shots back at the soldiers. They moved like dancers in a deadly dance. Zara high, Marcus low. When she went left, he went right. They had never fought together before, but somehow they knew exactly what the other would do. The first line of soldiers fell in seconds. Impossible, the enemy commander shouted. 2 against 200, but Marcus and Zara kept coming. The spear's white light grew brighter. Marcus's metal bar moved faster. Soldier after soldier went down. Then something strange happened. The remaining soldiers stopped fighting. They looked up at the sky with terror in their eyes. What's wrong with them? Zara asked, still holding her glowing spear. Marcus followed their gaze upward. His face went pale. A massive shadow was covering the stars. Something huge was coming down from space, bigger than any ship he had ever seen. Oh no, Marcus whispered. The shadow grew larger and larger. Soon it covered the entire battlefield, the burning village, the surrounding hills. Everything disappeared into darkness. Then lights appeared on the bottom of the shadow. Not the warm light of stars, but cold green light that made everyone's skin look sick. What is that thing? Zara asked. Before Marcus could answer, the enemy commander threw down his weapon. We're all dead, he said. His voice shook with fear. They found us. Who found you? Marcus demanded. The Devourers. Marcus felt his blood turn to ice. He had heard that name before, in reports from the outer colonies, in emergency broadcasts from distant worlds. The Devourers, planet killers, world eaters. The massive ship settled in the sky above them. It was so big it had its own gravity. Rocks and debris started floating upward toward it. You know about them, Zara said, seeing Marcus's expression. Every human does, Marcus replied grimly. They've been hunting us across the galaxy for 50 years. Hunting you? Why? Because humans fight back. Most races surrender when the Devourers come, give up their worlds without a battle. But humans... Marcus gripped his metal bar tighter. Humans make them work for every planet they take. The enemy commander laughed bitterly. You think you're so special, human? You think your fighting spirit matters? Look around you. They destroy everything. Even the strongest warriors mean nothing to them. Then why are you here? Zara asked the commander. Why were you attacking my people? The commander's red eyes filled with shame. 'Cause we were running. My people's world was destroyed 3 months ago. We barely escaped with our lives. So you decided to take our world instead, Zara said angrily. We had no choice. The Devourers were coming here anyway. We thought if we conquered this planet first, we could use your defenses to fight them. Marcus stared at the commander. Wait, you were trying to save this world? We were trying to save ourselves, the commander admitted. But yes, if we could hold this planet, maybe we could stop them here. Green beams of light shot down from the massive ship. Where they touched the ground, the earth turned black and died. Trees withered. Grass crumbled to dust. They're scanning, Marcus said. Looking for the strongest life forms to take first. Take where? Zara asked. To feed their ship. Devourers don't just destroy planets. They eat them. All the life energy. All the power, everything. More ships appeared in the sky. smaller than the mothership but still huge. Dozens of them, each one filled with creatures that lived only to consume. The scanning beams moved closer to their group. "They'll find us soon," the commander said. "When they do, we all die." Marcus looked at Zara. Her spear still glowed with white light, but it seemed small now compared to the ships above them. "Your village," Marcus said suddenly. "Was it destroyed by these soldiers?" "No," Zara realized. "The damage was different, burned from above. Just like those green beams. Devourer scouts," Marcus said. "They were here first, preparing for the main force." The enemy commander nodded. "We found your people already dead when we arrived. We thought the planet was empty." Zara felt sick. Her people hadn't died fighting these soldiers. They had died fighting something much worse. "So what now?" she asked. "Do we keep fighting each other while those things destroy everything?" Marcus looked at the glowing spear in her hands, at his bent metal bar, at the soldiers who had been their enemies just minutes before. "I have an idea," he said. "But you're not going to like it." "What?" "We work together, all of us. Humans, your people, their people, everyone." The commander laughed harshly. "Work together? We were trying to kill each other 5 minutes ago." "That was 5 minutes ago," Marcus said, "before we saw the real enemy." A green beam swept across the battlefield, getting closer to their position. "They've almost found us," Zara said. Marcus smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of someone about to do something very dangerous. "My people have a saying," he told them. "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." "And what does that mean?" the commander asked. "It means," Marcus said, watching the green beam come closer, "that sometimes the best way to survive is to make friends with people who want to kill you." The scanning beam reached them. Green light washed over Marcus, Zara, and all the soldiers. High above in the massive ship, something noticed them and started coming down. The green scanning beam locked onto their group. High above, something moved inside the massive Devourer ship. Something big, something hungry. Zara watched pieces of the ship's bottom opening like a mouth. "What's coming down?" "Harvesters," Marcus said grimly. "They collect living beings for the ship to feed on." Dark shapes dropped from the mothership. Each one was the size of a building. They had too many legs and glowing red eyes. As they fell, they made sounds like screaming metal. The enemy commander and his soldiers backed away in terror. "We should run, hide, maybe they'll miss some of us." Marcus started laughing. Everyone stared at him like he had lost his mind. "Why are you laughing?" Zara demanded. "We're about to die." "That's exactly when humans are most dangerous," Marcus said, wiping tears from his eyes. "You're insane," the commander said. "Probably," Marcus agreed. "But that's what makes us good at this." The first harvester hit the ground with a crash that shook the earth. It was even more horrible up close. Black metal mixed with living flesh. Weapons grew out of its body like tumors. "Listen," Marcus said quickly. "My people have been fighting Devourers for 50 years. We've learned things, secrets." "What kind of secrets?" Zara asked, raising her glowing spear. "The Devourers are old, ancient. They've been eating worlds for millions of years. They're used to races that give up easy, that don't adapt." A second harvester landed, then a third. "So?" the commander asked. "So they have weaknesses, but you have to be creative to find them." Marcus reached into his crashed pod and pulled out more devices. "Good thing humans are very creative." The harvesters started moving toward them. Each step left burning footprints in the ground. "What are those?" Zara pointed at Marcus's new devices. "Experimental weapons. My ship was carrying them to Earth's research labs." Marcus started handing them out. "This one disrupts energy fields. This one creates force barriers. This one," he paused. "Actually, I'm not sure what this one does. The scientists just said, don't activate it unless you're about to die." "We're about to die," Zara pointed out. "Good point." Marcus showed them how to use the human weapons. The enemy soldiers watched in amazement as simple-looking devices created shields of pure energy. "Impossible," one soldier whispered. "How do you make technology so small but so powerful?" "We had to," Marcus explained while attaching a device to Zara's spear. "When you're always fighting bigger enemies, you learn to be clever instead of strong." The first harvester reached them. It raised one massive leg to crush them all. Zara stepped forward. Her spear now glowed brighter than ever, enhanced by human technology. She thrust it upward. The white light cut through the harvester's leg like it was paper. The creature screamed and stumbled backward. "It worked," she shouted. "Of course it worked," Marcus said. "Human tech plus alien magic equals very bad day for monsters." He showed the soldiers how to modify their energy weapons with his devices. Suddenly, their red energy blasts turned into brilliant white beams that could hurt the harvesters. "Now we fight back," Marcus announced. "But there are dozens of them," the commander protested. "So, humans have a philosophy about that." "What philosophy?" Marcus smiled his dangerous smile. "If you're going to fight impossible odds, you might as well have fun doing it." The battle began again. But this time it was different. Zara moved like lightning, her enhanced spear cutting through harvester armor. The enemy soldiers, now allies, used their modified weapons to drive back the massive creatures. Marcus ran between them all, adjusting devices, sharing human tactics, and hitting harvesters with his metal bar whenever they got too close. "Aim for the joints," he yelled. "They're weaker there." "Use the terrain," he shouted. "Make them come to you one at a time. Remember," he called out, "devourers expect you to be scared. Show them what happens when you fight angry instead." The tide of battle turned. Harvesters that seemed unstoppable began falling. Their screams echoed across the battlefield, but there were still too many of them, and high above, the mothership was powering up something new. A weapon bigger than anything they had seen before. "Marcus," Zara called, breathing hard from the fight. "Look up." Marcus saw it. The bottom of the mothership was opening wider. Inside, a terrible light was building. "Getting brighter and brighter, planet killer," he said quietly. "What?" "They're done playing with us. That weapon will destroy this entire world in one shot." The light kept growing. "Soon it would fire. How long do we have?" the commander asked. Marcus checked his devices. 10 minutes, maybe less. Can we stop it? Not from down here. We'd need to get inside that ship and destroy it from within. Everyone looked up at the massive mothership floating miles above them. "That's impossible," Zara said. Marcus grinned. "You know what I'm going to say, don't you? That impossible is your specialty." "Exactly." Marcus pulled out one more device from his pod. This one was different, bigger, more complex. "What is that?" the commander asked. "Emergency teleporter. One-way trip. It can send maybe 3 people up to that ship." "And then what? 3 people against an entire Devourer army?" Marcus looked at Zara, at her glowing spear, at the soldiers who had become their allies. "Then we do what humans do best," he said, "which is, we improvise." The planet killer weapon was almost ready to fire. The light was becoming too bright to look at directly. "Who's coming with me?" Marcus asked. The planet killer weapon grew brighter. The light was so intense it hurt to look at. Everyone could feel the heat from miles below. 8 minutes, Marcus said, checking his device. "Maybe less." Zara stepped forward. "I'm coming with you." "This is suicide," the enemy commander said. "Even if you get inside that ship, there will be thousands of devourers waiting." "Probably," Marcus agreed. He looked at his emergency teleporter. This thing was built for escaping, not attacking. It can only send 3 people, and there's no way back. "Then we make it count," Zara said firmly. The commander surprised everyone by stepping forward too. "I'm the third." "What, why?" Marcus asked. "My people died because I couldn't protect them. My world burned while I ran away." The commander's red eyes blazed with anger. "I won't run again." Marcus nodded with respect. "What's your name, Commander?" "Kex. My name is Kex." "All right, Kex. Ready to do something stupid?" "I've been ready my whole life." Marcus began setting up the teleporter. It was a complex device with spinning rings and crackling energy. "Listen carefully. We'll appear somewhere inside the mothership. Probably near the weapon chamber." "Probably?" Zara asked. "Emergency teleporters aren't exact. We might end up in a storage room, or an engine, or the middle of space." "You're really not helping," Keck said. "I'm being honest. Humans value honesty." Marcus finished the setup. 7 minutes left. "Once we're up there, we need to find the weapon's power core and destroy it." "How do we do that?" Zara asked. Marcus held up his last remaining device. It was small and black with a red button. Nuclear charge. It will definitely destroy the weapon. And us too, Kex pointed out. Well, yes. That's why they call it a suicide mission. The remaining soldiers gathered around them. They looked scared but determined. What about the harvesters down here? One soldier asked. Keep fighting, Marcus said. Keep them busy. If we fail up there, you're the only thing standing between this world and total destruction. The teleporter hummed with power. Energy rings spun faster and faster. 6 minutes, Marcus announced. Zara looked at her glowing spear. Will our weapons work up there? Should do. Devourer ships use the same energy as their creatures. Marcus paused, though there might be complications. What kind of complications? Well, their ship is alive, sort of. It might try to digest us while we're inside it. Keck stared at him. You're telling us this now? I didn't want to worry you earlier. 5 minutes. Someone shouted from below. The planet killer weapon was almost ready. The light was becoming a focused beam, aimed directly at the planet's surface. Time to go, Marcus said. He stepped into the teleporter's energy field. Zara and Kex joined him. The spinning rings surrounded all three of them. Any last words? Marcus asked. Yeah, Zara said. When we get up there, try not to get us all killed in the first 30 seconds. I make no promises. Marcus activated the teleporter. The world disappeared in a flash of white light. When the light faded, they were standing in a nightmare. The inside of the Devourer ship was like being inside a giant stomach. The walls pulsed like living flesh. Strange liquids dripped from the ceiling. The air smelled like death and decay. This is disgusting, Keck said, trying not to breathe through his nose. Could be worse, Marcus said, looking around. How? We could be digested already. The walls around them started moving. Closing in. You spoke too soon, Zara said. They ran down a corridor that looked like an intestine. Behind them, the walls pressed together with wet, squishing sounds. Which way to the weapon? Keck shouted. Follow the power lines. Marcus pointed at thick tubes running along the ceiling. They pulsed. With the same terrible light as the planet killer weapon, they ran faster. The ship's living walls tried to grab them with tentacle-like growths. Zara cut them away with her spear. Kex blasted them with his modified weapon. 4 minutes, Marcus called. They reached a huge chamber. In the center was the weapon's power core. It was beautiful and horrible at the same time. A massive crystal that contained the energy of destroyed worlds. There, Marcus said. We destroy that. We stop the weapon. But between them and the core were 50 devourers. Each one was twice the size of the harvesters they fought on the ground. The creatures turned toward them. Their eyes glowed with hunger. 50 against 3, Keck said. Those are terrible odds. Zara agreed. Marcus pulled out his nuclear device. Good thing we're not planning to fight them. We're not. Nope. We're planning to run straight through them. The devourers started moving toward them. Fast. Are you insane? Kex asked. Completely, Marcus said happily. But that's what makes this plan brilliant. He started running toward the massive enemies. Zara and Kex followed because there was nowhere else to go. 3 minutes. Marcus yelled. The first devourer reached for them. With claws the size of swords, Marcus smiled and pressed a button on his nuclear device. Hope this works, he said. A countdown timer appeared on the device. 30, 29, 28. The nuclear device counted down. 27, 26, 25. 50 massive devourers charged toward Marcus, Zara, and Kex. Each creature was a nightmare of claws, teeth, and hunger. You activated it early, Zara shouted as they ran. Trust me, Marcus yelled back. 3, 22. The first devourer swung its claws at Marcus. He ducked and kept running. The claw tore through the ship's living wall, spraying black blood everywhere. What's the plan? Kex demanded, blasting enemies with his modified weapon. We don't fight them, Marcus said. We make them fight each other. 21, 20, 19. Marcus threw the nuclear device high into the air. It sailed over the heads of the charging devourers, straight toward the power core. Every devourer in the chamber stopped chasing the heroes. Their hungry eyes locked onto the nuclear device. They all wanted it. Mine. 17, 16. The devourers crashed into each other, fighting to catch the device. Claws ripped into flesh. Teeth tore at armor. The creatures that had hunted together for millions of years turned on each other in an instant. Brilliant, Zara breathed. That's the human way, Marcus said. When you can't beat them, make them beat themselves. 14. 13. While the Devourers fought, Marcus, Zara, and Kex ran toward the power core. It was huge, glowing with the stolen energy of 1,000 dead worlds. How do we destroy it? Kex asked. We don't, Marcus said. We steal it. What? 12, 11, 10. Marcus pulled out his last device, the one that had enhanced Zara's spear. Your magic can absorb energy, right? From crystals? Yes, but this isn't a crystal. It's something else entirely. Same principle. Energy is energy. Marcus attached his device to the core. Can you drain it? All of it? Zara stared at the massive power source. That much energy would kill me. 8, 7. Not if we share it, Kex said suddenly. He touched his hand to the core. My people can channel energy too. Together maybe we can contain it. And then what? Zara asked. Marcus smiled. Then we give it back to all the worlds they stole it from. 5, 4. The nuclear device fell toward them, still surrounded by fighting Devourers. In seconds it would explode and destroy everything. Zara and Kex placed their hands on the power core. Marcus activated his enhancement device. Energy poured into them. Not the gentle power of natural crystals, but the raw, screaming energy of destroyed civilizations. 2, 1. The nuclear device exploded, but instead of destroying the ship, the explosion was absorbed into Zara and Kex. They glowed like stars, their bodies barely able to contain the massive forces flowing through them. Now, Marcus shouted. Together they reversed the flow. Instead of the core taking energy from dead worlds, they forced it to give energy back. The power core cracked, then shattered, then exploded in a burst of pure light. The light spread through the ship, through space, across the galaxy. On every world the Devourers had touched, dead ground came back to life. Withered trees grew green again. Poisoned rivers ran clean. The massive Devourer ship began to fall apart. Without the stolen energy, it couldn't hold itself together. We need to get out of here, Kex said weakly. The teleporter was one way, Marcus reminded him. Then we make a new way, Zara said. Her spear still glowed with absorbed power. Stand back. She raised the spear and cut a hole in reality itself. Through the opening, they could see the planet below. Impossible, Kex whispered. You keep using that word, Marcus said, stepping toward the portal. I don't think it means what you think it means. They jumped through just as the Devourer mothership exploded behind them. They fell through the sky like shooting stars. At the last second, Zara used her remaining power to slow their descent. They crashed into the battlefield below, alive but exhausted. The soldiers, human, alien, and former enemy alike, cheered as they saw the mothership's destruction. The remaining harvesters on the ground collapsed without the mothership's power. Is it over? Someone asked. Marcus looked up at the sky. Other Devourer ships were retreating, fleeing to distant stars. This battle is over, he said. But there will be more. Then we'll be ready, Zara said, helping him to his feet. All of us together, Kex added, looking at the mixed group of soldiers. 1 year later, Zara stood on the deck of a human starship. Through the window she could see Earth, a blue and green world full of life and hope. Marcus appeared beside her. Ready for the graduation ceremony? Are you sure about this? Training aliens to fight like humans. Why not? You've been teaching us about magic. Fair trade. Behind them, the ship's corridor bustled with activity. Humans and aliens worked side by side, learning from each other, preparing for the battles to come. Incoming message, the ship's computer announced. Priority alert from the outer colonies. Marcus and Zara exchanged looks. The Devourers? She asked. Probably, but this time we'll be ready for them. The message played. Unknown threat detected in Sector 7. Entire star systems going dark. This is bigger than the Devourers. Much bigger. Requesting immediate assistance. Marcus smiled. Well, that sounds interesting. Interesting is one word for it, Zara said. Ready to save the galaxy again? Marcus asked. With you? Always. As their ship changed course toward the unknown threat, Marcus thought about something his grandfather used to say. The universe is a big place full of big problems. Good thing humans specialize in impossible solutions. Behind them, Earth grew smaller. Ahead of them, new adventures waited, but that's a story for another day.